So we'll start with the wax one. So we've put the wax down around the rocks, and I'm just going to tilt it up a little bit. Tilt my paper up a little bit, not too much. Don't want it any backgrounds. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tape at the edge of my paper to stop it curling up when I put my water on. So again, you don't have to go right to the edge. These are some little test pieces in a sense, but hopefully they will turn out as nice little studies. So there's my paintbrush gone. So your masking fluid one, you need to do that in advance so that can dry.
Are we using the boiling water brush?
Just to try and get, it does clog up. Masking fluid clogs up the brushes. Try and sort of get as much out as you can. That's why it's always best to use an old brush. Don't use your best brush. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put a nice wash on our top of our picture. I'm just going to tilt that up a bit more. Take that a little bit more. So you want to tilt your paper up so that if your paper's a bit floppy like your pad is, just put it on a board because it's sort of curling a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take we want again like a cerulean or cobalt blue for sky, and I'm just going to mix a little bit up onto my palette. So the hot thing. Not the kettle. Oh right, that's why.
That's why it doesn't work.
That's why it wasn't hot. No, it's got the hot water, what's it thing. Yeah. Yes?
Are we putting a wet layer on the sky there?
So it's dry paper at the moment, so I've mixed up some cobalt or cerulean blue. Check the strength of it on your paper. That's going to be alright. So we're going to do a wash. Okay, have you done washes before? Some of you have, so you have to be nice and calm. That's out the window already then, is it? So load your brush, nice round brush, and take a line across your pad. Pick up paint into your brush again, across your pad. Keep going across that line nice and evenly. I'm going to add a bit more water. I'm running out of paint. You need to mix up quite a bit. And go across. So we begin to get a little reservoir of water at the bottom. And what we're going to do is to feed into that. We've not got a huge piece of paper, and I'm going to lighten the wash as I go down. So I'm adding a bit of water into that wash and then coming down. Don't worry if you go over your land. I'm adding a bit of water, mixing it in and going over. A bit of water, mix it into your wash. And I'm just going to go to there because I'll be into my water there.
I need to touch my chalk. Gosh. I think mine's quite a smooth paper.
So I'm just going to touch that there. Now if it's gone a bit funny and you're not very happy with your flat wash, what we can do is we can lift out some clouds if you want to. So take your tissue, dry tissue, and we can just lift out some bits of cloud. Just use your tissue and Sort of lift out a few bits of cloud. I think what clouds look like. Sort of wispy clouds as well. So no water, it's onto a dry paper. So I'll do it again. I'll do it below so you can see.
And we should do it as well.
You can do it, yes, if you feel happy. The top one, we can move on to our masking fluid one. So again, mix up your blue, mix up plenty of blue on your palette. So it gives you a chance to have a bit of practice because we're doing 3, aren't we? So nice long stroke across your paper. This is lighter already. Keep going back into that stroke across the top and then keep feeding in to that reservoir of water. Make sure those nice long brush strokes work across the paper, and then we can bring that down as we. I've hit my wax just there. Just take out that little blob there. That's where my wax is, so I need to make sure that my C goes up to there or over there. I'll just soak that bit up. So if you want to lift out any colours, you can. I think it's nice, even strokes across the paper. If you keep going back and forth with little strokes, sea that's got lots of, not a sea, a sky that's got lots of lines on it. Oh my God. That's it, don't put your masking tape yet.
Oh. Pin it down.
Yeah, no, not for your skyline.
We're going to do it that way then.
Okay. Yeah. I've got a bit of a. You got it. You're all right. You know what you're doing. We've got. I say we're doing quite a bit, so quite quick, but we want to get through a lot tonight. And each one's basically the same. We're putting the paint on the same. So the final one.
I've only got 3.
Yeah, that's right. I've only done 2 so far. So you've done 3. You're ahead. You're ahead. I was going to say that this one we could add a little bit of clouds into the sky. This is another way of doing the sky, which, oh look, I'm getting it. See, I've taken that off and now it's running back. Let me prop that up so it doesn't run the wrong way. So another way of doing a sky, this isn't my bigger piece of paper, is to wet the paper. Don't worry if you've done a wash. You can do a wash, you can do a plain sky if you want.
So just water.
Just water. I know my water's a bit blue,
Yeah, mine won't.
it doesn't matter. So wet your water. Wet your water.
Wet your water. Make sure you've got wet water.
Wet your paper. Again, leave that little bit of a dry edge around the edge. That stops it curling up too much. Nice strong mix of blue on your large brush, and then we're going to paint leaving the cloud spaces. So we're imagining that we're painting around clouds. So just sort of scrubbing with the brush.
I have messed up.
Don't forget these are just little sample pieces. You might get a beautiful picture out of it. You might think, oh, I don't like the sky, but I like how I've done the rocks. I like this technique of using masking fluid. So we're covering quite a few different techniques. So and then we'll just leave that and let that one dry. So it's good having 3 on the go at the same time, because you can do one, put that on one side to dry, before coming back to it.
Right,
let's
I'll pull
take
mine
mine
out.
out.
Do you want a hand?
Right, let me pour